Ah, all right, we're live. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. We're starting our call today. We're talking about the number one motivation hack. So, um, my win for the day today, we've got beautiful weather. Case and I spent a bunch of time outside filming some stuff. So, it was a lot of fun just to be out of the office for a day and get outside and enjoy the sunshine and the beautiful summer weather. If you're joining the live now, drop your win. Let's celebrate some wins. And then, yeah, I'm going to start talking about our topic today. So, um, we're in the middle of June, obviously. Everybody should know that, which means we've got summer festivities starting to kick off. So, I believe all the kiddos are out of school in about 2 weeks, and vacations are coming up, summer holidays, all that sort of fun stuff, camping weekends, lots of softball stuff, soccer, like outdoor sports that's happening. So, how do we keep our motivation? This is going to be the period of time where it's easy to kind of fall off track and lose motivation because uh, we have so many other things that are pulling us in different directions that we start to kind of lose our focus from what we want to do here, and we can, like I said, lose motivation um, and kind of fall off of our path. So, how do we like? What is the number one hack for motivation? This is my favorite one, and it's going to be something that you can do on a consistent basis. So, um, the biggest thing that's going to bring motivation back and overcome any sort of these challenges of like trying to get back into momentum or trying to stay in momentum when things are pulling you in different directions is why did you start? What's your big why? So it sounds really simple, but actually sit down and think about it for a little bit of time, journal it, and think about like what is the reason why you started. Why is it that you're still doing what you're doing if you've been doing it for a while? I'll just say my reason when I first started, my reasons have changed, and that will happen over time. But the reason why I started my fitness journey initially was because I didn't like who I was. I didn't have confidence. I had low integrity. Like I didn't show up for myself ever, and I didn't show up for other people very often. I was late. I let people down a lot, and so I didn't have the integrity that I wanted to have because I also lacked discipline. And quite honestly, I hated how I looked. I didn't feel comfortable in my body. I was skinny fat. I had no arms. I had really no muscle at all. And I had not a big gut, but I had a gut and I didn't like it. I actually would avoid the mirror for as long as I could. If I got out of the shower, I wouldn't look at the mirror. I would just grab my towel, dry off, and get out. If I had to go to the bathroom, I'd walk in, not like I'd walk right past the mirror, sit down, stand up, whatever I had to do. I would go and use the washroom and I would get out. I hated mirrors. I hated seeing myself. I avoided photos. There's a whole gap of like probably 4 or 5 years from high school in through my early 20s where there's like virtually no photos of me because I refused to be. If I could get out of having my photo taken in any way possible, I would. um, so I was in a lot of pain. I hated feeling that way. That was my why. That's what drove me to start working on my fitness and to actually take things seriously. And I know the story is so similar for most of you in here. It can be a different context too. It might not be that you hated yourself like I did back then, but it could be you want to protect your health for the future because you had a parent die in their early 50s or something, and now you're only a decade or so away from that, right? Um, that's a powerful reason, and I bring that up because I've heard that reason, and it's super important. You want to break the cycle, and you want to be around for your kids, right? Um, So when you think about and go deep on these levels, like not just, oh, I want to get in better shape because I want to have I want to look like, I'm going to use myself for example. I want to look like a bodybuilder, and I want people to see me and go, whoa, he's got a lot of muscle. Like that's shallow. It's, I mean, there's that part is in there, but it's like not a really serious part. It's not enough. It's not what keeps me in the gym. I can tell you that. It's not what gets me tracking my macros on a day where the last thing I want to do is track my macros. It's not powerful enough. But when I think about, and you don't have to share your why. I'm not going to share my personal why right now, because it's just a personal thing for me. But like, if I think to the reason why I want to do what I'm doing now and continue doing it, like my why has changed, right? I was a beginner, and that was my initial pain when I started. Now I've been at this for 10 years, yeah, 10 years or so, and my reason for sticking at it has changed. A lot of it at this point is now it's just a part of my lifestyle. It's something that I do. I don't like being out of the gym for very long because I start to feel a little bit dysregulated. My schedule is thrown off. My normal weekly routine is thrown off. I don't have as much energy. I feel like kind of restless, right? So there's those things, but I still have a deep meaning as to like why I want to do things, or why I want to keep going on the journey that I am, because there's a lot of times where I still struggle with motivation. I want to be competing in men's classic physique, which is just one of the divisions of men's bodybuilding. But in my division, there's a weight cap. So to be really competitive, I need to be right up near the top of that weight cap. So I have to step on stage at a certain weight, like peeled to the bone. I'm still like probably 10 or so pounds away of muscle away from that. I'm 34. I've never competed before. I'm way behind the eight ball, and my body's not handling training like it used to. The last few years, I've had more injuries. I have more aches and pains. It takes me longer to recover. Some of that has come just from training maturity and like being able to push myself harder and harder and harder. But there's lots of times where I have huge doubts in my mind where I'm like, what am I doing? Like most of these kids that are competing in the category that I'm going to be competing against are like 23. And they're going to be the ones that are like the hardest to beat because they're youthful. They're way, in terms of age, they're way ahead of me. So their career can be way longer. If it takes them 2-3 years to get to the status that they want to, they can do that. They can afford that. I don't feel like I have that in me because I've got, I turned 35 in October, and at some point I'm not going to be able to train at this level, trying to get into that type of competition. And so I have those doubts, and it's hard to overcome them sometimes. But that's where I go back to my why. Why am I doing this? Like, why have I committed to doing this and going through the struggles and the pain and everything that comes along with staying committed and dedicated to my fitness practices, to staying on top of my nutrition and getting into the gym when I don't feel like it, making sure I get my steps in even when I'm really tired, drinking my water when I don't feel like drinking water, or saying no to going out and having drinks with friends when I want to, but I know that it's going to come at the cost of my goals. Like when I'm not feeling super confident in myself, how do I overcome those things? Because they're powerful. It's by digging back into my why. And so as you go through the summer and you feel that kind of tug of war of what you want, like it has to be a personal decision. Just be like, you don't have to choose fitness over other things, but you have to be conscious about the decisions that you're making, just like we are with our food. If you're conscious about the food that you're putting in your mouth, then you at least can say, if you went over on your calories or something, you can look at it and go, yeah, I chose to do that. This is why I wanted to do that, but it wasn't an impulsive thing. It wasn't an emotional thing. It was an actual thought out decision, right? So that's what I want for you guys to have this summer when you have that tug of war, is not to be making an emotional decision or an impulsive decision based off of like here now, excuse me, and what feels good in the moment, but making the decision that you're confident with, knowing the long-term effect of it as well. So yeah, you can say, you know what, I'm going to choose that today. I'm not going to go to the gym and I'm going to go spend a day at the beach instead. Um, Maybe let's couple that with something extra, being like you got a bunch of friends there. So I'm going to enjoy some drinks at the beach instead and probably get some food at a restaurant around the water. And so my calories are probably going to be a little bit off today. I'm going to choose that, knowing that it's going to come at the cost of my progress. Potentially this week, I might not actually see the results that I want to at the end of the week, but I know that that's going to be the case. And so I'm okay making that decision. Or the other side of it being like, no, you know what? It's not worth it. The people that are going, I'm not really like, my best friends, and I don't really like eating at restaurants anyways. So, you know what? I'm gonna hit the gym instead, and I'll catch up with them later, and I'll go join in partway through and bring my own food, or I'm just gonna skip the gym today because I could hit it tomorrow. I can fit it in my calendar tomorrow. But I'm gonna bring my own food because I want to stick to my goals, rather than kind of do what everybody else is doing. And so that's kind of what I want to get across to you guys today is, summer's coming. There's going to be lots of pressure to do things, from family, from friends, from everybody, to just go out and have fun in the summer. And I want you guys to also do that. But I want you to be able to make those decisions and know that like you're making a decision for yourself that you're confident in, but also to have that little hack in the back of your mind of like, am I making this decision because I'm not feeling motivated? Go back to that why and then decide, because that's going to get you in touch with what why you're doing this, instead of when we're going through the motions, we just kind of go through the motions and it becomes everyday thing. And it's easier to fall out when we don't have that stimulus of like, oh, I really want this. So, yeah, all right, we'll wrap it up there. That's my main motivation hack. You can use that at any point in time. Like even if you just hit a slump where you're not like feeling super into it, go through that why, because it'll light a fire under your ass, and I can guarantee it. So that's all for our call today. A bit of a quicker one. I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, drop your biggest win, your biggest takeaway, and we'll see you in the WhatsApp group.